Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up, a special guest here in the studio. But first, let's take a look at our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and a hard-working crew, taking care of our everyday comfort needs. Speaking of comfortable, what a beautiful day it's going to be. High 75, low 62. It's just a beautiful day. Yesterday was the same way. And I know you enjoyed that big full moon, and it's just a beautiful weather this time of year. Water temperature at the end of the pier, 62.4. It really has not gone down there as cold as we thought. So that's going to be interesting to follow the next 2 weeks and see, because soon it'll be March, and you know what's going to happen in March with the water temperature. So anyway, move on to our river readings. Take a look at the Apalachicola at Bluntstown. This reading was 16.5 this morning. Folks, it's high. It's going to read a 16.5 tomorrow also. Take a look at the Choctawhatchee at Caryville. That reading is right now at a 9.8. It's got a slight drop to it. I may have a little bit of rain coming in, but I see the Choctawhatchee dropping out pretty steady now the next couple of days. So maybe by the weekend it's going to be really good. But what's not going to be good is going to be our tides. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Looking at decent tide today. Got a low tide at 7:40 and a high tide at 10:50 tonight. But we're in deep tides pretty much the rest of the week, so tidal flow is going to be important today. Wind direction will be coming out of the southeast at about 11. Good steady day, beautiful day in the outdoors, so if you want to get outdoors and enjoy it. We're going to take a break, come back with our special guest. Okay, welcome back. Our special guest this morning, Miss Molly Allen from St. Andrew Baywatch. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Winston.
Known her a long time, and let me do a disclaimer. No, Mom and Dad, or Dad came here years ago working on an incinerator as an engineer.
Yes, sir.
Correct. And Jane, your mom, she ran Elegant Endeavors and still does. If you do antiques down on Harrison Avenue, it used to be Elegant Endeavors on Harrison, but now they've moved to
right next door to Piggly Wiggly. It's called Antique Marketplace.
Antique Marketplace. So if you're into antiques and all, Jane Lindsay is the lady you need to see. But now, we're here to talk about Save the Bay, but tell us a little bit about your background in environment and outdoors.
Well, I've always just been a lover of the outdoors. I was the child that followed the ant and wondered where did he live and what all about his family. And as an adult, I've found multiple ways to volunteer for the Bay System here locally. And so I became a Florida Lake Watch volunteer in 2010. And started sampling low water lake out on Panama City Beach, and we look for trends in nitrogen and phosphorus, also depth, and so I've been supporting that for the last 10 years.
Wow, I know that's interesting. We're going to get more in detail. In St. Andrew Baywatch, you're on the board? Or?
I am on the board of directors. I'm a member at large, so okay. I help we've got a lot of work in the plans, and we've got a very active board of directors.
Yes, they do, and we've mentioned them on a regular basis here since I've started the show 18 years ago. I've always felt very strong about our environment my whole lifetime, and how we feel about the bay, all of our bay systems, and also. And we've mentioned this. I've seen a lot of pictures of cool stuff with the box turtles. You're into that, so tell us about that.
Absolutely, yes. We're really excited that low water basin, which sits in between City Hall and Pier Park out by Highway 79, will become a group member of the Box Turtle Project, which is currently in the Cove and in College Point. And they're studying trends in box turtle movement. It is the first study of its kind in neighborhoods. Normally these types of studies are done in the woods, out in the conservation areas, but this one we're trying to find out after Hurricane Michael and in areas that are being developed, what's happening to the box turtles and their habitat.
You're right, and if you're a regular viewer, you've seen the picture we've shown where they found the box turtles, had the numbers on them. Patrice Couch was active in all this, and just a big group of people doing it. So we know about the Box Turtle Project, so it is expanding.
It's expanding at a good, slow, steady pace, so they can make sure that the data is good.
Yeah, that's important. Okay, now I guess funding in anything is important. I know it is, but sometimes it's harder to get funds in other areas. But y'all have set up a fundraiser. Tell us about the fundraiser y'all are going to do.
Absolutely. The Bayside Resort and Spa, which was formerly the Sheraton at Panama City Beach Resort, since they were located out there at Bay Point on St. Andrews, they wanted to find an opportunity to support a local program to help protect the important watershed that they were themselves a part of. And so they've started an annual tournament on the Premier Nicholas course with Bay Point as the tournament sponsors. And the funds go to support St. Andrew Baywatch, which also hosts a variety of programs within itself. So this tournament is coming up on February 18th. It's at Bay Point Resort and Spa. Registration starts at 8 a.m. and the tee-off starts at 9 a.m. If you'd like to pre-register, which would be wonderful, so you're not bottlenecked up there at the registration desk, you can register at standrewbaywatch.org. It's a 4-person team for $500. And if you would like to partner up with people at the very end, you might be able to come in and join on a team. So if you're there by yourself, don't be afraid to show up at registration. They'll get you in there and they'll get you golfing for a good cause. And
so what's the date on that now? That's
about 2 weeks, yes, sir.
So.
February 18th.
And that's a win-win for everyone. You can enjoy a beautiful day on a golf course, and then that money goes to such good cause of what y'all do. So.
It does. And we have some very big sponsors that come in for this event, which we'd always like to thank. Louisiana Hot Sauce is a big sponsor.
Louisiana Hot Sauce?
Louisiana Hot Sauce.
No kidding.
Yep.
I love that.
Louisiana Hot Sauce, and also Eastern Shipbuilding has been a 5-year sponsor.
The Cernia family, and they're good folks.
Yep, as well as Chevron. So we'd like to thank all of our sponsors. There's so many more. The great prizes to be had, the winnings, let's see what they have as far as the winnings go. They've got, with the first place team, each gets a golf getaway to St. James Bay Golf Club in Carabel, Florida. Second place players enjoy $150 worth of gift cards to Half Hitch Tackle. And the third place prizes will all be to local restaurants thanks to our Panama City Beach Maps companies. And lunch is being provided by Rudy's Barbecue. It just doesn't get any better than that.
I'm telling you.
Southern barbecue and golf.
I'm telling you, that's going to be awesome. Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with Molly. Okay, welcome back. Sitting here with Molly Allen with St. Andrew Baywatch, and have a big golf tournament going on. We just gave you the details on that, but now I want her to also tell us about, we've had them on before years ago, but just to inform the folks what's going on with St. Andrew Baywatch, what they do. And we also have Choctawhatchee Bay has a group, and St. Joe Bay, they all have groups to try to take care of our bays, and you know how important that is. We'll talk about it all the time. So what are some other things y'all are doing?
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you're asking, because the bay is so important. As everybody knows, there are lagoons, estuaries, we have freshwater lakes, we have the bay system, and it's all part of one watershed. They work together as a system. And so to protect the bay, we're protecting the development of important marine species, as well as we're protecting our drinking water. I know many of you know that our drinking water comes here locally from the Deer Point Lake. And so Deer Point, as well as Marin Lake and Lowwater Lake, are all part of the freshwater lakes that are sampled through Lake Watch, but our bay systems are sampled through the St. Andrew Bay Resource Management Association here locally. So there are 67 stations total in Bay County that they monitor monthly. So they go in and take water samples to make sure that the water quality is good in our area. Also, they do a Living Shoreline project, which anybody can get involved in these programs. The youth can get involved, the adults can get involved. And the Living Shoreline program helps to protect against erosion, so it controls the erosion, and it protects and restores our natural shoreline. So they have they go in with the natural elements, they rebuild our oyster beds and reefs and things like that. They also do grasses and classes, and I know this is really probably near and dear to your heart.
It is.
Because they get the youth involved. They get those kids back out into the environment. And I know that's a big...
We saw some videos. Remember last year we had the North Bay Haven group come over to Mandy Miller Warren's house there in Southport, and they planted some grass along the shoreline. So that grasses and classes is a big deal.
It's a big deal, and I know how much you feel about the youth being in education and the outdoors, bringing it into our classes. So that's so important. They also do a citizen science lecture series at Gulf Coast State College. The next one is coming up February 21st on 2023 here at 6 o'clock at Gulf Coast State College, and the local Tupelo Beekeepers Association will be there.
Really?
And so I'm hoping everybody by now is understanding we're talking about all these different animals and all these different things that support our bay system. So the bees truly do, because they pollinate all those trees that are going to be next to the grasses that they're planting as they shade some of the areas where the smaller fish need to come in. And so it works as it works hand in hand, all of these things and all of these programs. And again, they are really ready for people to step up in Bay County and come out and volunteer and show some love for the Bay.
That is awesome. You're talking about the bees, and it all just all fits together. Nature, that's the synchronized with the bees here, the flowers here, this bay. It just all goes together. That's why we always try to teach our young people. We've got to take care of it. And one of the things, I didn't realize you had a bee. When are the bee people coming? No, that'll be.
They'll be February 21st at
Okay.
Gulf Coast State College at 6 p.m.
That'd be interesting. We'll try to remind you if you want to go and see that. You're talking about the grasses and classes. I know with our outdoor ed class, we got into years ago. We were picking sea oats. I know this is not a base system, but for erosion, we'd pick the sea oat seeds and send them down to Tampa to a greenhouse. They'd plant them, and then we brought them back up here. Then we replanted sea oats, and there's the Panama City Beach Pier, all those sea oats out there, Rick Seltzer Park, St. Joe. Most of them got washed away, but we planted sea oats for years and years, and the kids just love doing that. So if you expose a kid to these kind of things, and like the grasses and classes, they enjoy it. I don't know, we were joking about I kidded them, y'all just want to get out of class, and but they really did and took a lot of pride in doing that.
They do,
So
they do.
The umbrella, St. Andrew Bay Watch is the umbrella organization that we do all this stuff under.
It really is, all the way to our coastal cleanups. You know, when you're out there, that Lake Powell has a very big coastal cleanup as well as the bay systems. And I can't tell you, I've been out on that Lake Powell cleanup several times, and they pull out just pounds.
Does it never cease to amaze you? What are people thinking when they throw that stuff out?
I'm not real sure.
We talk about it here. I'm in awe sometimes. We do the same thing, and we've always done that kind of stuff.
Interesting fact then, you'll like this, since you like nature tidbits. In the Box Turtle Project meeting that we were just in, they said that now they're finding in turtle scat that there are microplastics, that turtles are going for tiny red microplastics.
No way.
So as you just said, everything that breaks down into very small pieces and end up in our bays and water systems. And so just know that anything that's a quarter-mile away from any body of water can end up in that water pretty easily. So
that's interesting and sad at the same time, but that's sort of what's going on when you throw your trash out and you don't take care of it. One thing too on the grasses and classes, I'm gonna just bounce around. I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break and we'll come right back for our final segment with Molly. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's take a look quickly at our fishing game time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. Today's time, 7:40. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking back down the wrong time. 1208 to 208, and then 1229 to 229. I was giving you the tide. So back with Molly Allen with San Andrew Bay Watch, we're talking about all kind of. There's so many interesting stuff in outdoors. We could sit here and talk all morning, but they're sort of concentrating on the environmental impact that we have as humans. And one of the things you're getting to box turtles. Tell us about some stuff about a box turtle. You talking about a male?
Well, yeah. What's interesting is most people, when they think about the box turtle, they think eastern box turtle, and it wasn't until I got into the program where I was made aware that we have a Gulf Coast box turtle. So the Gulf Coast box turtle, if you're wondering the difference, is going to be a larger turtle. So when you see the small ones with the dome, that's normally your eastern box turtle. The Gulf Coast box turtle almost looks like a military helmet. It flares out at the edges, you know, very flared. And then also a very interesting fact is some males in the box turtle world have completely white heads. So that if you see a box turtle that has a white head, not yellow, literally a white head, you can be assured that that is a male box turtle.
That is cool. So tell us about they number them, right? How did y'all do that? This is cool. Yeah.
They do. They apply a tag. They don't paint or anything like that. They apply a tag. And they also use very interesting, I'm glad you asked that question, they use a digital software that kind of is for like a thumbprint. So the software can read, and you know, the turtles are like a snowflake. There are no two that are exactly alike. So they take a photo of the turtle, and then they crop it out and they upload it in this database. So over time, even if this turtle loses its tag, which they tend to sometimes due to mating, sometimes due to traveling, that turtle can still be identified over years through injury and through its life, really through this digitized photo. So
that's cool.
I think it's very neat, yeah.
And I think I saw one a while back posted where he lost his leg or something, or he was sort of hobbling, but y'all knew exactly where he's going, where he had been and all.
Yeah.
That's cool stuff. What's the lifespan of a box turtle? Do you remember?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
We'll look it up.
I would say probably, I would think between like 60 and 80 years.
You
maybe.
think so?
I think
yeah,
so.
We'll look it up.
I think the problem with some of the studies is that they outlive us.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, getting back to the grasses and classes and people, you know, building seawalls, and now they want to put grass in front of them, you know, which you want to restore back to natural, like you said. And it's so important to have the oyster shells out there, which has always been out there. It's so important to have the natural the grasses out there and all that together. If someone wanted to get some help and more information, can they just call St. Andrew Bay Watch?
Yes, absolutely. If you would like to start a living shoreline project in your area, you are welcome to reach out to the St. Andrew Bay Watch group, Christina Cantrell, to see what is available, if there is an availability to do it.
Yeah.
Really important as people are coming in, we're seeing a heavy development. So I watched a great video. It came out, I believe that St. Andrews Bay was mapped in the 1970s by a gentleman. And so we learned that our baseline is when we moved here. So my baseline is 1984. My husband's baseline is 1977. So I'm wondering, what is the baseline today with all the development, items and trees being taken down?
Yeah.
And so my point is, it's very, very important to plant native.
Yes.
If you plant native, you won't have to worry about the salt spray, you won't have to worry about the erosion, you won't have to worry about watering or freezes or any of that. So seek some native plant nurseries and try to support your land that way.
And palmettos and palms and whatever comes natural. So that's all good stuff. Now, we also, you mentioned on the golf tournament. Let's get back to our golf tournament here. That's going to be the fundraiser to help fund these things. When you're testing the water, you got 6 to 7 stations. If you find any repeat, I want to say offenders, but you have some same areas where some of them completely or the number of readings are pretty low or something? Or?
You know, on trending, the St. Andrew Baywatch organization reports to Bay County an annual report each year.
Okay.
And this year, Bay County has asked for more of like a scorecard or a grade card of maybe red, yellow, green, where in the past it's very scientific data. This is scientific data, and sometimes it can be difficult to read if you're not familiar with that. So this year, the St. Andrew Baywatch group is going a step above and beyond to make it easier for our community to see those trends and to see those impacts. I can tell you that this program has made such an impact in the state of Florida that now they are taking and using the data that we're gathering as volunteers to help write for the label warnings on pesticides.
Oh, cool.
And so they find when people put certain pesticides or fertilizers down that certain nutrients will spike in the bodies of water.
That information is much needed. Okay, I got to wrap things up now. Let's go over to the golf tournament coming up. Here it is, February the 18th. It's going to be a fundraiser for St. Andrew Baywatch. I see a lot of y'all out there. Again, it's any questions, there's a number up there, 4-person teams, and anything else you'd like to say about it? Or?
Just show up and come golfing and have a good time. This is the largest fundraiser for this organization. So please, if you'd like to support it in any way, just come on out and golf with us. If you'd like to support a team, if you're not going to golf yourself, but you know a young person that would like to golf or a young team that would like to golf, just support that.
Thank you very much, Molly. Enjoyed having you.
Thank you too.
We'll see you later.
All right.
I'll do something good today for your fellow man. You have a great day and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.